I've said this again and again, but you guys aren't listening to me. You're a bot. You're coded. $5 million, $5.2 million, $7.2 million. I know things that you guys don't know. I'll put it in Fortnite terms. NPCs are people that operate off of default scripts. Your brother...
What did I do?
Because your brother was operating off of a default script. It's okay, brother. It's not a big deal.
Luke Belmar came from nothing, made some money with ecom, and then multiplied it exponentially through a few well-timed investments. He now has one of the biggest personal brands in the business and self-improvement space, all thanks to his provocative yet wildly viral short-form content, which we confront him on in this episode.
Just the water. Can we get some water going?
Ooh. No, this is, bro. Kid's got jokes, bro.
Drinking tap water now?
Luke Belmar.
How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Welcome back to the internet.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
For the warm welcome. Who are you?
My name is Luke Belmar. I am an entrepreneur, digital entrepreneur now. I come from Argentina, came here at the age of 16, and make money online, try to help people, and level up.
No. Who are you, brother?
That's who I am, bro.
Is that all you are?
I mean, there's more to me, but if we get down deep into the conversation, it might take longer. But yeah, that's a general premise of
it's a
who I
podcast.
am. It's a nonchalant podcast.
You're being very nonchalant.
I am being nonchalant. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about what you mean by who am I? What are you trying to know?
What do you stand for?
I think when you start looking at my content kind of reflects my ideology. I think I want to be very transparent with what I think and how I portray it. I think my philosophy of life can be boiled down to probably one statement, which is, as you think, so you are. And it's this concept that everything originates in the mind. So who am I? I'm a person that can be whatever they want in determination to the attitude that they have and to the objectives that they may have in life. So I have chosen to be a person that exemplifies virtue, goodness, equanimity, calmness, and
Nonchalantness?
Nonchalantness maybe a little bit here and there.
So you chose to be a dropshipper.
I didn't actually choose to dropship. Dropshipping kind of chose me. When I got into the internet game,
Right.
I wanted to find a way to make money. And the first vehicle that I found just happened to be dropshipping. I think it was beginning of 2016. And I was like, it works. I didn't have a lot of money. I started, and within a couple of months, I was able to generate a couple $1,000s. So I knew it was a viable business model, and I just scaled it from there.
Was that back in Argentina?
No, 2016 was here in the U.S. Yeah.
Okay. And how high did you scale? Because I've heard crazy numbers.
No, I've done $16 million total revenue in e-commerce, but my top month was 1.1 million.
We heard about a $5 million.
Oh, $5 million. That was in crypto. Yeah.
That was in crypto.
Yeah.
Okay.
$5 million, $5.2 million, $7.2 million, $3.2 million loss, all over the place, brother. But most of my money has been made in the markets. Yeah.
What was your first big break?
Well, e-commerce. E-commerce was my big break. Well, I would say before that, my big break was identifying that you can actually make money online and identifying the markets. So when I was waiting tables, a fellow server, he introduced me to the concept of markets. He gave me a book, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, and I read it. I remember reading it on the train on the way to work. Then I would have to take the bus, and I would just read that book. And then he introduced me to Bitcoin. It was $600. And I was like, this is expensive. Like, well, that's a lot of money. I didn't have $600. And that was kind of my breakthrough as to the information actually existing. Most people don't even get to that point. My first breakthrough in revenue per se, probably 2020. 2020 is when I would say I went from hustling to really becoming an entrepreneur, which is different. You can make money online. Doesn't mean you're a business owner.
What's the difference?
Well, working in the business versus working on the business. If you're working in the business and money's only generated by your appliance of labor, then you're just self-employed. If you stop working, you're unemployed.
Right.
That's not running a business. That is just working for yourself. Building a business is building systems, operations that are scalable and sustainable regardless of your presence.
So if I'm setting up the lights, it's not a business?
It's not that it's not a business, but it becomes a business when you find an individual that if you're not able to set up the lights, can do it for you.
Now, we do have to interrupt today's episode to thank the sponsor, AutoDS, which can help you start a real business. E-commerce is a great way to make money online, and dropshipping allows you to do so with very little startup costs, since you can sell products without holding any inventory. And so AutoDS is your one-stop shop for all of your dropshipping needs. They start as a platform that handles and automates the fulfillment portion of dropshipping, so you don't have to worry about the logistics behind your orders arriving to your customers. You can set them up to automatically fulfill all of your orders with shipping times on some of the products as low as like 2 to 3 business days. But now on top of that, they've went on to build other tools into their platform. They can provide an AI generated store built for you automatically, so you can get started quicker than ever. You can use their winning product section to find a product to sell, and then use their TikTok ad spy tool to figure out what ads are currently being used to sell that product. And there you can even find competitors' websites who are selling the same product, which is a massive cheat code. To see a winning dropshipping funnel on the same product that you're trying to sell, what more can you ask for? So feel free to check them out using the link in the description. And now let's get on with the episode.
Should everyone be running a business?
No, I don't think everybody should be running a business. I think people need to find what makes them happy, what is their vehicle to success, because even making money can be a spectrum. I know people that are happy making $5,000, and I know people that are unhappy making $50,000. So the premise is first figuring out what does success mean for you. Why do you want to make money in the first place? Because after X amount of dollars, you know this, after X amount of dollars, what do you buy? Nicer, bigger things of the same thing, a bigger house, a better car, a better plane ticket. There's just spectrums of the same thing. So once you find gratitude and contentment with just existing, making money is kind of a spectrum. So yeah, that would be my opinion.
Right, but I hear you saying this right now, but I'm also hearing you say making $10,000 a day, that's nothing.
It is nothing, because it's nothing in the context of what I want to accomplish. Let me give you a premise. You make a $10,000 a day. Let's say you take home $3 million after everything's said and done. You want to go buy a house, a normal house.
Okay.
That's $500,000. Evaluate that versus the amount of money that you've generated. You're talking about 15, 20% of your money directly to a house. So when you evaluate $1 million versus how expensive things actually are, you begin to look at $1 million, not for what $1 million is known to be for, but for the purchasing power that it actually holds. So when you evaluate $10,000, yes, you can live off of $10,000, very fine. But for what I'm trying to accomplish in life, it's not enough. I have to feed 100 families. I have 100 employees. They have 100 families. That requires a lot of money. In order to build operations of scale, business versus self-employment, you need to make a lot of money. And to think that, oh, it's a lot of money is capping your mentality and possibility of scaling. So to me, not a lot of money.
But that's for you. But when you're putting it out on the internet, you're getting millions of views.
Absolutely.
And all those people that are watching it, they might be happy with $10,000 a month.
Perfect.
Not even a day.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a little downplaying their achievements?
No,
Are you saying it
not
just
at
to
all.
get a clip?
No, I think it's the truth. I think you can be in a situation whereby you can face the reality at the fact that you can live with not a lot, like $10,000. I can go to 80% of places in the world and live for a very long time with $10,000. But is it a lot of money? No, it's not. But to say that it's a lot of money is the fallacy. So to say $10,000 is a lot of money, it's not a lot of money.
Per day, we're talking, right?
Per day, bro. It's not a lot of money. Now you may say, whoa, it's a lot of money. Perfect. What is the context? Are you a single guy that lives in a 1-bedroom apartment that spends $2,000? It's a ton of money. You run an enterprise. You run an enterprise. You build an empire. You have a lot of employees. You have a lot of staff. The context becomes different. But you need the mindset of saying, hey, there's potential, there's scalability, there is more opportunity, there's abundance, as opposed to saying, oh, this is enough, this is good. And people can say this is enough, this is good, and they can cap themselves there. I just choose not to.
Would you be friends with me if I said this is okay with me? Or do you associate with people like that?
How much money do you make?
6 figures.
We're here together.
What if he said below 6?
It doesn't make a difference. You know, it's like it's the assumption that money is what makes you valuable. I never said money is what makes you valuable. I just said $10,000 is not a lot of money. And I still will stand by that point. But that has no intrinsic play in who you are as a person. Let me give you an example. Charlie Munger. He passed away recently. We know
Rest
this.
in peace.
Berkshire Hathaway, multi-billionaire. He comes from a really rough background. He got divorced in his late 20s. This was back in the day when divorce was like really frowned upon. His kid died while he was in his early 30s. So this guy goes through the trenches, then becomes a multi-billionaire. In this entire process, if you assume that money is what identifies him, then who he became from the trenches to come up, then none of that is worth anything because he had no money. But if you evaluate just the value of somebody by what they have, which is just money, that's not a really good metric, because if money's all that you have, you don't have much. What if all you had was a money bank account ready to go, liquid, but you were an individual? Nobody was around you. You were unhealthy. You were drinking tap water all day. It wouldn't be a wealthy life. And I think what I teach, or what I like to share, or what I believe, is that wealth is a mindset of abundance in every area of life. In your relationships, in your health, in your ambition, in your desire, in your pursuit of goals and happiness. And I don't think it's bad to, one, identify that maybe you don't have an abundance mindset, maybe you have a scarcity mindset, and that it's okay to change it. And I will say this, the school system, and that's why I appreciate people that make content on the internet and add the ability to make it interesting for people to consume content, because the education system has allowed people to adopt mental frameworks and mental models like that of scarcity. Like, oh, making this amount of money is fine, making this amount of money is okay, settling for this lifestyle is fine. You need to identify, do you truly believe these things, or are these things that you've been conditioned to believe? And that's a conversation that you truly have to have, because you might arrive to the conclusion that maybe your worldview at the current moment is not the best possible worldview. And that's the question. Have you adopted the best possible worldview for your life? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, perfect. Continue on your path. If the answer is no, figure out other worldviews that you can extract from that are beneficial to you, leave the rest, and continue on your way. If Luke Belmar can provide some sort of value to you, anything, take it. And whatever's not in the way, leave it. If it was a video game, you would interact with all the characters, figure out what are the clues, and move on. Why wouldn't you do the same with me? I'm just another dude.
Fair enough. You're a big school hater, huh? I'm seeing crazy stories of F school, F this,
it's not
F
a school,
that.
bro. I think school's great. It's what are they teaching? It's the education that is put through the school system. That is the problem. So when you have, for example, let's say history. Let's talk about history. How do you know that what is written in history books is true?
It's not necessarily true. The winner always writes the history book, so I don't disagree with you there.
So now you have somebody, would you say that the teacher that teaches history, let's say the fourth grade teacher, I'm not talking about PhD, high level education. Would you say the fourth grade teacher actually is well educated on the truth of history, or she's just regurgitating the syllabus?
But is there a better way to do it?
Self-education.
So the fourth grader has to join Capital Club and...
No, I mean, Capital Club is not for fourth graders. Capital Club is actually for aspiring and developed entrepreneurs. But for a fourth grader, maybe as a parent or as an older brother, you give a child a book instead of giving them an iPad. You take them out for a walk and teach them the value of health and nutrition, as opposed to taking them for marshmallows and ice cream. Yeah, those things are fine. But what are you developing? You're under the assumption that education is merely contextual to student teacher sitting at a desk. This is education. You guys are teaching me. I'm teaching you. We're teaching each other. And if you can start learning from your environment, you can start learning from the data sets that reality gives you, becomes a little bit different.
But is that scalable? Like, if everybody, is that really the best way? If we relied on everybody just teaching their younger brothers and their younger siblings?
Do you have siblings?
I do.
Younger or older?
Older.
Okay, you're the youngest?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be hard for you to understand what it's like as an older brother to take care of a younger brother. Regardless of how you may feel about that, that's the truth, because you simply aren't in that position. It's like saying that you can understand what it's like to be a father if you've never had a kid. You just can't, as much as you want to think that you can. As an older brother, and I have younger brothers, my job is to teach them. Teach them what? Teach them the things that I've done that are wrong, and teach them the things that I've done right, so that they don't have the same. Even if you're young, You can do the same thing with your older brothers. I would hope and assume that you're wise enough to, when you spot and identify your brothers falling or faltering or failing, that you correct them, that you teach them, that you educate them. If they have a faulty mental framework, that you come to them and you're like, hey, you know what? Let me show you this. Let me learn from you. Learn from me. And you create an environment of what? Winners. Right now, a lot of people just pushing each other down, bro. A lot of bad mindset, a lot of negativity, a lot of jabbing at people aspiring to be great. Why can't we elevate each other? Why can't we learn from each other from a place of authenticity and truth? Now, how I do it, my model of doing it, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's authentic. It's me. And if people can embody themselves and we can create a culture and an environment where people can be themselves and learn from each other, yes, I do think that everybody can do it.
Have you taught TJ anything?
I think so. Let's ask him. That's my little brother, by the way.
Hey, brother.
I mean, quick story. I always tell this to people, but back in the day, it was like 2018. I was trying to do drop shipping. I had my first little store. I was selling like a little, like some little slime thing or something like that. I go to him, my older brother, my bigger brother. He starts flaming me like crazy, telling me not to do drop shipping. So I never did it. And then 2023 rolls around. I go to Beheza. He helps me start up a store. We run it up, and they got the 6 figures. So, I mean.
What did you learn?
From what?
From what you just told me.
Business.
No. What did you identify in your brother's broken mental framework that allowed him to belittle you in such a way that he didn't believe that you had the capabilities to do what you set out to do? What do you think, brother, was the mental framework that allowed him to, whether he was willingly or unwillingly, belittle you? Because that's a common thing that happens when you have broken mental frameworks. What do you think?
Maybe it was just his experience with the whole dropshipping thing, you know? And I mean, I wouldn't say it didn't work out for him, but maybe he didn't like it too much. And he would put that mentality on me. But at the same time, you know, that happened, but there were times when he did put me on some sauce, you know?
Perfect. So under that premise, because it happens to everybody, right? It happens. I have coaches that mentor me, and sometimes they limit me with their belief system. But what if you had had success with e-commerce? Would your worldview had changed, and would your information and your data sets, right, and what you knew about the world would have taught him something different? Would have been different?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with what you were saying, where he should experience other people's opinions, not just mine. You know, if I had success in something else, if it's crypto, and I put you on crypto, but I tell you not to do drop shipping, that doesn't mean I'm right. That just will work for me.
And that's exactly it. You have to be able to sit down with people and pull from them, learn from them. Yeah, maybe you pull this, maybe you don't pull that. Okay, yeah, Luke made money in e-com. Am I the best e-com guy in the world? No, nor do I claim to be. No, I've just made money with e-commerce. Yeah. And I made money investing, but I know how to scale and build digital businesses. Am I the best in the world? No, but I'm me. And I'll tell it to you straight to your face. So you know how I see it. It's the reason the information that you gave him was the information that you gave him was it was because it was based off of the information that you knew. And what I'm trying to convey to you is that I know things that you guys don't know. That's why when I sit here and just like you guys know things that I don't know, but when I say these things and I share with you like the importance of applying the ludicrous belief that everybody can truly become successful. It's a ludicrous belief. And?
Can you put that in Fortnite terms? What does that mean?
I'll put it in Fortnite terms. Everybody thinks that most people are going to be unsuccesswent. That's why most people are unsuccessful. Mm-hmm. Why can't we walk around wishing the best of people? Looking at some, bro, I went to a hotel. I know it sounds crazy. I went to a hotel. The guy was mopping the floors. He was a janitor. I've done janitor work, so we're just talking. And he's sitting down with his phone during his break, scrolling through TikTok. And I literally go and sit down with him. We're having mate. We're sipping mate. It's an Argentine herb tea. And I ask him, hey, what are you doing in your free time? I was like, why is it that you're choosing to do this? And we start chopping it up. 10 minutes in, he tells me that he used to own a business, but that he quit because he went into debt. He couldn't make it. He lost hope. And where did he end up? A janitor. Why? Not because a janitor is a measly job, but because he didn't have the right tools, the right knowledge, the right circle, the right information, and he lost hope. You know why he lost hope? Because the environment around him told him that he was going to lose. But what if the environment around him was positive and empowered? And so you know what I said? Bro, go back and start the business again, bro. What else, what am I going to do? Sit down and tell him how to do dropshipping? No. Bro, I can encourage you. Hey, bro, you got this. If you were able to do it once, you can do it again.
You never scroll TikTok?
I scroll TikTok. I scroll TikTok, but I scroll it with a different intention. I actually find it as a really good tool to recruit talent.
Really?
Yes, it's a really good place to find talent that is really good, and I think that it's a good place for sourcing new hires.
Is that how you're justifying it though? Do you ever just scroll, like doom scroll?
I would say I doom scroll Instagram stories a bit, bro. It's the swipes, doom swipe, bro.
Doom swiper.
I'm a doom swiper, bro.
But it seems like you're really familiar with the TikTok algorithm, because you kind of you blew up almost out of nowhere. Like I didn't hear about you, and the next thing you know, I'm seeing you everywhere. Was that super premeditative? What was your plan with that?
It didn't start off as a plan, and it kind of became a plan as it worked. But I think the message is very simple, because I've only made probably about a dozen YouTube videos. And I've done a couple live streams and a couple podcasts. I think my message is consistent. I think people resonate with it, and that's why I think people like it. Yeah, there may be some flaming content, maybe some content that's controversial, but for the most part, the content that people stick with and the comments and the feedback that I get is that it's a net positive. So I think the internet, there's a lot of drama. I think it's very easy to get quick likes and quick views. And I think now there's a pendulum switch and a pendulum kind of swing towards authenticity. And I think people resonate with that. I would like to believe that a reason for my virality and for people resonating with this is because I don't really attach myself to the message that I'm speaking. I don't think it's my message. I think these are fundamental truths of the world, and I'm just sharing them in the way that I've experienced them. I'll give you kind of an example. When you called me the other day, I was excited to talk to you because I think that you have a great platform. I think you have a great platform because you are both funny and you have the ability to introduce concepts in a way that people can digest them. And I challenged you to something. I said, figure out the purpose for your content, not just make content for AdSense revenue. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Figure out how you can build something that outlasts you, build something with purpose. And this takes a long time. This takes a lifetime to build. And my entire premise in doing this, now that I've been able to make money, because I've been able to build a personal brand in the past, I just didn't. Why? Because I didn't want money to be the motivating factor that moved me towards talking. If I need to have AdSense on and say and filter certain things in order for me to make money, then I'm no longer working for myself, I'm working for YouTube. And I wanted to get to the place where I could be financially independent. And if I was to build my personal brand, it could be somebody that I was proud of presenting. And I'm proud of the version that I am today. Therefore, I'm public.
But you're still making a ton of money on the personal brand.
Yeah, a ton of money.
So I mean, like the AdSense being off is one thing, but
you can talk about but the personal brand isn't what is making money. What is making money is that I've built a product and a company that serves people well, and people like it, and people share it, and people enjoy it. If not, people wouldn't buy it. And if you look at my process of commercialization, you look at my landing pages, I don't promise anything. I just have a club. I have a community of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs that want to create, multiply, and preserve wealth. What is wealth? Wealth is abundance in every aspect of life. It's not just money. So if people resonate with that message, join me on this journey. If not, on your way, brother. We're continuing on this journey to a million glitches all around the world, with or without you.
What's glitches?
Glitches in the matrix, bro. There's two concepts. You see bots. You've heard this concept of NPCs. NPCs are people that operate off of default scripts. Your brother
pointed at you.
Yes, because your brother was operating off of a default script. It's okay, brother. It's not a big deal. Your brother was operating off of a default script. It was. I made that very clear. Was operating off of that. And this is the thing. This is the thing. When somebody identifies the NPC-ness in us, we need to have the humility to be okay, to be like, oh, okay, this person is trying to check me out of automation. So what I'm conveying here is your brother was acting out of preconceived, autopilot decision making. He instilled that through you. His NPC-ness, right, was being diverted to you. He turned you into an NPC. He NPC'd you. Collateral damage. I'm trying to do the opposite. The glitch is the opposite than the person that runs off of the default scripts. The person that is a glitch runs off of their own scripts. They don't fit in. They are an anomaly. I think you're a glitch. I think you're a glitch in the making. I think you still have a lot of preconceived notions about reality.
Like what?
I would say part of your identity hides behind comedy, which is good. And I've seen this because I have a lot of friends that are comedians and that are really good with jokes, but that doesn't allow for people to see you the way that I was able to see a part of you that I think is really special. And I think that that's what you're trying to do with this podcast. And I think if you can bring that part out, extract the YouTuber, and just people be able to sit with the wisdom that you've been able to accrue. And bro, you've been able to build a business.
I mean, I'm still setting up the lights, but
brother, how old are you?
22.
You should be very proud of yourself. You have things to teach. How you teach them, how you convey, how you inspire. That is your duty.
But I think I want to teach through comedy.
Yes,
that attracts people.
Yes,
so
that's
why would I
good.
change?
You don't want to change that.
Okay.
But once you attract people, good. How are you going to impact people? How do people get to know you beyond being a Kevin Hart or a funny YouTuber that makes viral videos? How do you fundamentally, to the core, radically change somebody's life based off of not business, but based off of your belief in your worldview? And how do you allow the things of the world to blur your purpose on why you're actually here?
What was the question of that?
I don't know. We're just having a nonchalant conversation.
It's too nonchalant. Oh,
but you know what I mean, bro? It's like,
no, I agree with you. I do, and that's why we're starting the podcast. I think you can have a much
and
bigger
I support
impact.
you guys. I support you guys fully.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate that because you're here. You've never even watched an episode, but you're taking a risk on us. You're buying in early, so we do all really appreciate that.
And I want people to be able to get to know you guys, be able to know your ups, be able to hear your doubts, be able to hear your convictions. What do you stand for?
What do I stand for?
Yes, what do you stand for? What is the underlying principle of truth that governs your life?
Jesus Christ.
Then how do you embody that, and how do you show that to your 1+ million people? And do they know that?
I'd say some of them know that, but not everyone.
Perfect. So if that's your belief system and that's what you're pushing, then I would assume, I don't want to say that this is what you need to do, I would assume that your purpose in life is everything that you do guides toward that beacon. So that's what I'm conveying, is don't lose that foresight. What's
your beacon?
Finding truth. I'm still looking for it.
Have you gone close?
The thing is, truth is very elusive.
What do you mean by that?
It always keeps you on your toes, because the moment you think you know the truth, the more you realize that you don't know a whole lot. And I think Solomon is probably the great example of a man who didn't ask for belief systems. He didn't ask for dogma or religion. When God came to him in a dream, he asked God for one thing. He asked God for wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge put into practice. Knowledge is to know. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. But unless you act upon that truth, faith without works, faith is dead. Faith is the physical manifestation of what you believe. So unless I see the fruits of your belief, how do I know that you believe what you believe besides your words? So if you say, Luke, what do you believe? Just look at what I do. That's it.
Do you classify yourself as a religious person, as a Christian? Because you just brought up Solomon.
I mean, I think Solomon was a person that was pursuing truth. And I think he's also a person that obtained the highest echelons of power, the highest echelons of wealth, the highest echelons of womanization that the world has ever seen. You want 1,000 concubines? This man got them. But in the book of Lamentations, he says, all is vanity. So if the wisest man in the world says all is vanity, and I read that as somebody that wants to be wise, now what do I understand? That all is vanity. Why? Not because he said it, but because I begin to evaluate the things that he in the world tells you that fill you up. Paradise, kingdom, money. And then you get those things and okay, now what? You've made $1 million. How do you feel the next day? Nothing. Okay, you
It's
made
all
it
right.
Yeah, it's all right. Does it solve your intrinsic problems in life? Does it solve the relationship that you have with your parents? Does it solve the relationship that you have with yourself? Does it solve your insecurities? Maybe, potentially. Maybe it tapes it. Maybe it masks it.
But if you want to find that out for yourself by making some money, dropshipping may be a great vehicle to do so. And AutoDS, the sponsor of today's episode, is your one-stop shop for all of your e-commerce needs. You already know that they can help you create a store, find winning products, spy on people's TikTok ads, show you competitors' websites, but what they're really known for is fulfilling orders, right? You connect them to your store and they'll handle and automate the whole back end of actually sourcing your products and making sure they arrive to your customers without you having to worry about it. Which used to be the big problem with dropshipping. Customers would get angry when their orders would take months to arrive from dropshippers who couldn't find a good supplier. Or you as a dropshipper could get scammed and your orders would never arrive to the customer. Small scale, that could lead to chargebacks, but on a big scale, if you're getting a ton of orders, that can completely wipe you out of the business. So AutoDS targets all the major pain points of dropshipping under one service, and you can check them out using the free trial link in the description below.
But to say that this one thing is the underlining solution to all your problems in life, I would say not so.
I don't know if you answered though.
I don't know if I answered. Who knows? I don't even know what the question was. What was the question?
It was what's your belief? Because you bring
my belief. No, you asked me. Are you religious? No, I think I'm just a person seeking truth. And the example is, I'm taking the person that I believe to be a reference point, Solomon. Why do I take him as a reference point? Just read Proverbs and see if that's a good business model and a good life model to adopt, and you might actually become successful. If I see all the billionaires out here telling me, yo, read Proverbs, read Psalms because it's full of game, why am I not going to read it? So am I a person that identifies with labels? No. You know why?
Why?
Because to you, Christian may mean something. To him, Christian may mean something else because it is a symbol that represents something. So for me to identify as that symbol means that now I identify through your lens of what that symbol means. So I am without symbol. You have to view me as an autonomous individual and get to know me. And then you can attach your labels in due time as you get to know me.
What's like the best way to figure it out? Or like how do you put yourself
Well,
in
he
a
said he's
circle?
figuring it out still. It's like,
I would say first recognizing that we don't know everything. Like, it doesn't matter how much success you achieve, you can still learn things from everybody. What to do, what not to do. So I would say curating a group of people that help you think. I think that's important. Curate a group of people, a circle around you, friends, where you can have these conversations. You guys as brothers, like, you guys should be flaming each other. You guys should be grilling each other's belief systems.
I do.
That's good because you're not going to have a lot of people in your life that are going to do that, right? So if you can have this relationship, you need to cherish it deeply. That's the first part. The second part is asking the most important question in the world. Why? Why to everything? Why? It's the question that all authority gets what? Angry when you ask them. Ask your teacher, ask your parents, ask your pastor. Why? If you ask them why enough to the point where they get to, I don't know, which everybody gets to.
Of course.
That's when people get mad. But if you can get to the I don't know and instead of getting mad, get intrigued, that is where you find truth, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, but how do you put yourself in a circle of people that you can trust and people that can, get you to
Become the
top?
type of person that attracts individuals of caliber. I'm sitting with him here today. I don't know you, gentlemen, but hopefully we can build a relationship one day. I don't know him very well either, besides the couple videos of content that I've seen floating on the internet over the last couple years. The reason I'm sitting with him today here isn't because of this right now, but it's because of the seeds that he planted himself that are today being manifested. So he became the type of individual that I cared to contemplate and have a conversation with. And I don't have conversations with everybody. The point is, if you want to have winners around you, become the type of person that winners want to have around. A winner's not going to hang out with a loser, so become a winner. It only makes sense. If you want to have a beautiful girlfriend, you can't be out here doing things that individual wouldn't be attracted to. You need to do the things that are going to attract the circle that you want with you.
Speaking of that, are you open about your relationship online?
No, That's the only part that I don't talk about. Yeah.
Not one bit.
No, not one bit. We'll clip that part out.
Okay.
That's the only sanctity in my life, bro. Yeah.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. Too much online to bring in family, you know.
Do you have an opinion on it? Just like
yeah, I think government marriage is a fraud. So getting married under the government, you're not getting married under God. You've just gotten married under paper. It's a psyop. I think getting married under God and faithfulness to one woman is my preference of life, and I think it's the best life. Why? For multiple reasons. Every time you sleep with a woman, you taint her, and she taints you, whether you like it or not. And I just refuse to be tainted by people or marked by people that I do not know. So I've only decided to know one person, and with that, I'm content.
So you disagree with the Tate perspective of multiple wives and all of that?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a Tate perspective. I would say it's quite a global perspective of doing whatever you want. Now, I've just adopted the lifestyle and the belief system that one woman for me is enough, and I'm satisfied with that, and that works.
I respect that. Do you plan on having kids with that woman?
Not right now.
Ever?
Not right now, because I think part of I know this may sound a little bit cliche, but I think there's plenty of kids out there that need parents, bro, already. I think I kind of have a passion towards adopting kids. There's too many kids out there that need parents. Yeah.
What are you naming your first kid? What are you naming your first kid?
That's interesting you say that. His name will be Spartacus.
Spartacus. Why is that?
Because Spartacus led a revolution to free the slaves.
Yeah. And I guess my next question is it possible to get so far out of the matrix to the point where you like loop back around and get back into the matrix?
Of course, brother.
And
the question, but the thing is, we're all in the matrix. You're never getting out of it, bro. You have a credit card, you're in the matrix.
I just got one.
You're watching my on TikTok, you're in the matrix.
Are you out?
No, bro. I'm trying to figure out how to play the game.
Right. I did see you drinking tap water earlier, so that makes sense. Still in the matrix.
You should sell some of these bottled by 12. White label. Hey, you want to drop ship water bottles, bro?
I might. The tap water brand.
It actually is a good idea. But yeah, and I don't plan on having kids. That's not my perspective. You plan to have kids?
Yeah. I want to have a few, like 1 or 3. 1, 2, 3.
Boys? Girls?
I'm gonna shoot for boys, but
you're gonna shoot for boys? Is that no pun intended, or is that pun intended? Funny.
Are you still dropshipping?
Nah, bro.
Why not?
I make too much money in other places. I have my private equity firm. I have my trading firm, and I have my ventures inside Capital Club. So
you want to drop your most profitable product?
Like my most profitable product that I ever sold? My most profitable product was these sanitizing tablets that you would utilize for like cleaning clothes. So you would put them in the dishwasher, you would put them in the washing machine or in the plate washer, and they would just clean your plates. I sold household products. Boring.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Why wouldn't I sell sanitation household products during...
That's what I was going to say. Was this during the virus?
Yeah. So I was like, I can't sell hand sanitizers and I can't sell masks, but people still need cleaning supplies and other cleaning in their house. So they're stuck in their house.
So why not price gouge them?
Well, I didn't price gouge them. I just sold something that was completely within the terms and conditions of Facebook, which is pretty good. It worked.
Was that an AliExpress product?
Of course, brother.
But how do you? What are the
logistics? Everything. When you say AliExpress product, what do you mean? Let's break down the myth of AliExpress. Do you know that AliExpress are actually drop shippers? It's people that are drop shipping manufacturers.
Yeah.
So when you say AliExpress, only a noob drop shipper pulls anything from AliExpress because people from China are listing and drop shipping those same products and then going to the manufacturers. I have my own manufacturing. I have my own 3PLs. I have my own private party logistics. So in the essence of, can you find my products on AliExpress? Sure, because manufacturers can literally post them there, like you would post them on Amazon, but they weren't AliExpress products. They were sourced and manufactured by my own team.
What are the logistics behind like a $1 million month drop shipping?
It's not that hard. I would say one, inventory, and two, you need liquidity to scale.
But if you're drop shipping, how do you manage that inventory?
You need to be able to pay for it up front.
Okay.
Bro, drop shipping, this idea of, oh, you pay for money, like pay for your products after you receive the money. This only works at low scale. You know this. You start doing 20, 30K days, you have to start buying inventory up front. You have to start buying a week of inventory. You have to start figuring out P&Ls. You have to start seeing if they have inventory. You start scaling even higher. You have to call the manufacturer, see if they can produce in time. So it goes from drop shipping, quickly becomes e-commerce.
Yeah, so that's not drop shipping into that.
It's that, well, you transition from it, right? So that's how I go. We grab a product. All the top e-commerce guys test drop ship. As soon as it works, white label. As soon as it works, build their own supply chain.
So you had
At
this
scale, you have to do it.
right. So you had this huge come up with drop shipping, and then you funneled that money into crypto.
All of it.
You wrote it, sold. Are you going to be buying back in?
It's a great question. I was talking with Luca Nets before this podcast, and we were talking about crypto. The Bitcoin ETF will 99.9% approval rates. It's happening. It's going to get approved. What happens after it, I have no idea. How I'm going to get in the market, I think I want to get in building products this time around. I kind of invested in things, but I think there's a possibility to just build cool products inside crypto. So I think my approach is going to be different. I'm going to probably pull away from being like a market investor, a trader, to probably getting more hands-on in the game.
Are you familiar with, what are they called? The ISO 2022?
Yes.
222.
Yeah, somebody was telling us,
XRP and stuff.
yeah, you got to get into that because the government is adopting those. Do you agree with that?
I mean, no.
No.
What are you buying? Give us the sauce, bro, please.
Let them cook.
I would say a really good ecosystem right now is TON, T-O-N.
TON.
It's the Telegram Open Network. So the founder of Telegram, if you follow the history of Telegram, he launched an ICO and the SEC sued him. It was over $1 billion crazy ICO and he had to refund everybody. But then they kind of launched it in a decentralized way and they're building a ton of crazy. So it's the currency of the Telegram ecosystem. So if you're going to bet on something that already exists, that has tons of users, that is actually well developed, I've been looking a lot at the TON ecosystem. It's a $2 billion market cap. It's not a small coin, but it has something that's actually backing it that has a decade plus of history, trackable, winning teams. I think that that's probably a good place to look, bro.
So you don't think the government is going to switch over to these ISO 2022 tokens?
I'm not saying they're not, but I've been buying XRP since 2016. Like the amount of opportunities that have come and gone, if had my money been elsewhere and not, when is the government going to approve this thing that I don't even know what it is?
Right.
XRP $500. Like, bro, like, come on, dude. Like, who are the people telling you these things? Now, I have theses about Ripple. It's not whether it's going to go or not go. It's a simple fact of, is there more opportunity elsewhere? Is there better opportunity elsewhere? And am I willing to lose this boat if it ever happens to capture another one? And yeah, XRP is just, there's too much capital already in it, bro. There's other opportunities out there for sure.
Are you doing any boring investments? Like, does Luke Belmar have a 401k?
No.
Do you have health insurance?
It's a great question. Yes, I have health insurance. I mean, I have all the normal, but my investment strategy is very simple. Be super liquid, have minimal assets that require maintenance. So I don't like to have things that require my mental framework and my mental real estate to be occupied by, I need to pay this mortgage, or hey, my McLaren, the battery of my McLaren's dead, or I have to go pick up this car. I don't like these things. They can be, if people want to fill up their life with those troubles, that's fine. I don't like that asset class. That asset class can appreciate. I don't like it. I like 3 asset classes. One, on the hard assets, I like gold and silver. Why? Because I can exchange these things anywhere in the world for a fair price, right? We all can agree that I can move $1,000 of gold anywhere and sell it for $1,000. Same thing can go with Bitcoin, but I can do it in a digital way. Yes, the price fluctuates. Yes, there's a little bit more uncertainty, but I can take $100,000 and move it from here to Lithuania with a hard drive, and nobody would ask me a question. If I was to take $100,000 worth of gold bars, from here to Lithuania, bro, they would be all over me. So you have those digital assets. That's a good investment. Remember, we're talking liquid. You have your physical assets, and then you have cash. Cash, you need to be banking on winning economies and on the strongest economies. People say the U.S. Okay, but what's better? Tell me what currency's up next that isn't another piece of. But ours is backed by what? The military, dude. Play with our currency, boom. What happened last time you played with the currency? Look what happened with Gaddafi, who tried to establish the Pan-African currency that was backed by gold. Boom. Civil eruption, death. Look at Kennedy. Kennedy tried to establish the silver-backed dollars. 6 months later, boom. Back. Abraham Lincoln, he wanted to establish the greenback dollars, which was his way of being able to pay the army. 6 months later, it's crazy, bro. So the winning currency, you have to have some of the winning currency. In this case, it's the dollar. With the winning currency, bro, the people that own the currency are going to come after you. They came after Bitcoin. That's why they own Bitcoin. That's why they own Binance Exchange now. They own it all. Because remember, you buy Bitcoin with dollars.
Right.
You have unlimited dollars. Now you have to bet and put some money on these empires. So US dollar, Swiss franc, banking capital of the world, and Singaporean dollar, I think it's pretty good when it comes to its price fluctuation versus the dollar, which I think is about 8%. So on your cash, banking on those empires. On the digital side, have digital assets that you can move that are liquid, and physical gold, physical silver, things like that.
How do you actually go about, like, technically about getting the Swiss franc? Do you just go on a Forex exchange? Like, how do you hold the franc?
Yeah, I mean, you can literally get cash, or you can find foreign exchanges that will actually let you remit different payments. There's also different banking accounts, but it's not for like small individuals, where you can have different currencies. So you can get, I think there's companies like AirWallets. I'm not sure. AirWallets, I think it has like a multi-currency bank account. So you can have like Hong Kong dollars, Singaporean dollars, Australian dollars, US dollars. You can kind of have multiple bank accounts. So I think you can store your wealth in that way, or just getting cash. In my case, you can have Swiss bank accounts, things like that, but that's for later on.
What about the
people's journey.
gold?
You have to find a place that you can actually hold gold. Go online. You can buy gold online, buy silver online, or you can actually hold it in places that store it for you.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I feel like push comes to shove, and like we get to a position where you have to actually take that gold. Like, what are you gonna do? Fly to these different locations and collect them?
And that's the kind of the thing. It's you need, if you're gonna have assets, you need to choose which assets you're gonna have and where you're gonna put them. If you say, okay, you're gonna own a house, well, that's even worse under that same premise, because you can't even move that. What about a boat? What about another piece of real estate or something that it's not nimble? So you kind of have to play the cards, because there is a risk factor in everything. Yeah, Bitcoin, you can move it everywhere, but that could dump 40%.
That's true. But so absolutely no real estate.
I don't like real estate, bro. I've tried to like it,
Right.
and I know it's good, but I personally would much rather rent a beautiful house that I don't have to deal with all the issues than to even have to bother with the issues. I already have enough issues with paying the electrical bill in places that I rent. It's like already, I don't like dealing with that.
Honestly, I don't blame you. Like, lately I've been thinking about how great it would be to just live in an apartment, because like I'd spend so much time just doing the little things. Like, oh, I gotta take out the trash, I gotta make sure these bushes are trimmed. And I know you can hire that out, but
the thing
you're
is,
still
even if you hire that out, now you have somebody in your house, and now that's invasive as. So now you're playing that side of the lane, which is like, dude, now my house is a hotel.
Yeah.
So that's I played both lanes, bro. I got the big house, and I had to downgrade from that. I'm like, okay, I got a $4 million house, dude. I had people in my house every day. I had cleaners. I had the plumber. I live in Puerto Rico, so now you have all the electricity issues and all the humidity issues. Within a year, I was out of that. Dude, I was like, I can't live this way.
I genuinely sat down with my wife and like we talked about it. I might have to. Like, I don't know.
It's
about
just like
this.
it's just finding. Once again, bro, it's falling for what people have told you it's the best way to live. Test it out. If it works for you, perfect. Keep it. If it's not, okay, I tested it. I don't like it. Next.
Yeah,
Same thing with your house. Same thing with assets. Whatever, bro. Play your game.
But I do like how you can touch a house like as an investment.
For sure, bro. I mean, yeah, because it's
like these
real.
Little floating little coins, the papers. It's, you know.
Yes, but what is holding the value of this? Why is this worth $500,000 and not worth $300,000?
At the end of the day, even if it's not, like, you could still stay here. You could chill at the crib.
But I can also exchange my Bitcoin and buy a house.
Well, if everything just completely shuts down,
If everything shuts down, then I think the least of our problems will be finding a place to live. It's interesting. I was talking with the governor of the Central Bank of Albania, and he said, people have never really faced crisis. He's like, people don't understand what full lockdown, grid shutdown is. And he was talking about in the 90s when Albania was about to hit default, 90s or early 2000s. He said, the civil unrest that took place when people were not able to tap into their money, he said was insane. They had to fly airplane loads of cash to the Central Bank of Albania, show it through the windows to convince people that they had the money to hold the deposit so people wouldn't bank run the central bank. It's crazy. So under that premise that the only thing propping this up is the fact that there's financial stability. If anything ever goes down, there's civil unrest, financial arrest, everything goes to hell, bro. Like I probably won't even be here.
where would you be?
I don't know, somewhere where actually currency's moving around clearly and flowing. Like you look at China now, dude, you look at central bank digital currencies, you look at the centralization of information, you look at lockdowns, you look at the vaccination status and the correlation of that with your money and your WeChat. It gets really, really, really bad, really, really fast when you start playing with people.
So you don't think you need like a cabin in the woods stocked up with supplies and guns and stuff?
I mean, yeah, why not? Like, why not, dude? Yeah, go have a couple ranches in Patagonia.
That's Argentina?
Yeah, it would be nice. Have you been?
I haven't, but I'd love to visit. I've been hearing
Do you
great things.
snowboard or ski? Do you do any of those?
Snowboard.
Okay, good. We should do a trip.
Argentina?
Antarctica.
Nah.
Why not?
That's crazy. They're skiing out
Yeah.
there?
Are you able to go there?
Yeah.
I thought it was like off
That's-
grid for the feds, you know?
No,
That's the
bro.
circle around
the ice
pizza.
wall. The ice wall, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just go snowboard on the ice wall.
On the ice wall?
Why not?
They allow you?
I
Bro,
mean,
that
unless
boat's
the drone
getting
shoot us
taken-
down.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I heard.
Now, I have heard some crazy theories from you, though. You don't believe the moon landing?
Oh, I tweeted about the other day. No, the moon. Come on, it's fake. Now, I'm not saying the moon isn't real or that people haven't been to the moon. That first moon landing is. So from technological advancement, first, okay, we land in the 60s. The evidence looks weirdest. We have all these videos of. Have you seen all the videos from NASA people like with wires and strings? Have you seen those?
They're a
Have you come
little
across?
sus, but I don't know.
They're a little sus. They're just a little sus. Like when you do things authentically, there shouldn't be anything sus. It's just, but when there is something sus and it's run by the government and it's tens of billions of dollars every year, you're like, where's this money going? Maybe I want to know. You're also competing against the Russians during the Cold War. There's a big push towards kind of calming down the public. And they kind of, I don't know. I don't buy it, bro. 60 years later, what's the best thing we have? We lost the tech. They can't find it. They can't recreate it. And it's too expensive to put people on the moon. It cost them $20 billion. $250 billion in today's currency if you adjust it for inflation. They printed $100 billion and tossed it to Ukraine. If they wanted to put people on the moon, they could. They can't. I mean, or maybe they can. Who knows, bro? I don't know, bro. Who knows? But Elon's going to do it.
Mars?
Yeah, bro, for sure.
I don't know.
For sure, bro.
You're signed up, huh?
Yeah, bro. I'm getting the Neuralink implant. I'm the first in line, bro. I'm getting the Neuralink implant, and I'm connecting my social security number to my Twitter account,
Yeah, that's a good
so I
call.
can feed the AI.
Yeah.
That's my
probably the
plan,
move.
bro. That's my plan. And I'm gonna eat seed oils, and tap water, and I'm gonna make sure that my girl is on birth control.
Right. Yeah. Are you?
That's the plan, bro.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Speaking of wealth and health, what are you doing? What should everybody be doing besides,
I tell people, it was funny. I was talking with a couple people in my community the other day, and I said, people don't even do the lazy things right. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, people don't even go to sleep on time. Like, that's the lazy that you could do for your health, and you don't even go to bed on time. Like, okay, perfect. We can talk about your abs, we can talk about your food, but unless you get the basics things, the lazy, like brushing your teeth, like showering, these things are health and nutrition. I am pointing fingers, bro. But
Bro.
sleep is very important. So you have your circadian rhythm, you have your REM sleep. Sleep is really important for recovery. Sleep is really important for mental health, but people don't sleep well. So I think we begin from the basics. They need to learn how to sleep well. How do you sleep well? A couple things. First, you need to cut out processed sugars, complex carbs, and heavy foods at night. Your body does not do very well when you eat heavy at night. Your body is supposed to be recovering, resting, repairing itself, regenerating. Ideally, you should also be fasting. Your body should enter periodically stages of autophagy. Autophagy is when your body begins to eat the bad cells up. This happens about 3 days into a fast. Fasting is incredible. So the simple things, people are like, what do I need to do? No. What do you not need to do first? Let's get rid of all the toxicity before we bring in anything good. So before we start, assembling the dinner table, let's clear out all that's already on there that's not good, that's not serving you, and let's fix that. Sleep, don't eat processed sugars, don't eat complex carbs, stay away from fruit juice, stay away from candy, stay away from fast food in perpetuity. Stay away from tap water, and if you're a woman, consult with your doctor to potentially get off of birth control pills, which are a psyop that has been perpetrated on women in the last, couple decades. Before that, women were never on birth control. But for some reason, now we have hundreds of millions of them. And the reason and the logic is because men can't keep their pants. Not a good enough explanation.
Is that hormonal? Like the birth control?
I mean, it's interesting because I've talked to a lot of women about when they were recommended to get on birth control, and it's usually in their early teens. And it has to do when their hormones are all out of whack, and it's supposed to calibrate them. But what you're doing is you're bioregulating the body outside of what it's supposed to be doing in its natural process. So once a woman gets out of her birth control kind of cycle, her hormones go through the roof and all over the place because they've been with for an extremely long time. It's something that people should really look into.
I mean, you
know what's the craziest part about that?
What?
You know when Alex Jones said that the tap water is turning the frogs gay? Okay. Can I tell you something about that?
Please.
Okay. What if the treatment plants, women take the estrogen pill, right? That's what the birth control is, basically superpowered estrogen. And remember, when you take a pill orally, most of it gets urinated. The estrogen, heavy urinated estrogen, gets peed into the water stream. That water is known as what? A recyclable commodity. So water just gets recycled. Through what? A treatment plant. You're drinking water full of piss and estrogen if you drink tap water. Just
I
so
drink
you know.
spring water.
Good. Not you, but I'm saying in general. So the treatment plant, the water goes through the treatment plant. It doesn't treat for estrogen. Look it up. And that water comes back to the tap. So now you have men, believe it or not, like it or not, drinking estrogen water. Now, does this provoke to the feminization of men? Yes or no? Who knows? But all we do know is that it's turning frogs from male to female, and it's happened. Now, is that a conspiracy? Is that a crazy out of the blue perspective to have? All I will say is that when the New York mayor goes on video, opens the tap water, drinks it, says, New York tap water is the best. And I know he's a politician. I don't trust him. And under that same premise, I'm like, anything the government gives me that's free is probably not good.
I mean, that's hard to argue against because what you're saying makes sense. You do take the pill, you do piss it out, and we recycle the water to drink. So you can't really argue with it.
And the treatment plant doesn't treat for estrogen.
But they can?
But they don't.
They can, though?
I don't know. I haven't gone to that complexity, but they don't treat for estrogen.
They got to get a reverse osmosis machine, huh?
They just don't drink tap water. There's places in the world where you can potentially get away with tap water, but why would you drink water? You don't know what's in the pipes. You don't know the quality of the water. Bro, look at all the movies. Look at The Dark Knight, dude. They're out here trying to kill the city up through the water supply, the public water supply.
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy,
the way to do
dude.
it. But do you ever just have like a fun little drink or a fun little snack?
Yeah, bro. I'll have a little bit of cannabis. Do you smoke weed?
I don't.
Have you ever smoked weed?
No.
You hesitated there. Are your parents watching?
They might be. Well, the closest I got was I used to work at a job, and I was driving the guys to a job site.
So you got hotboxed?
I got hotboxed, and I didn't even realize it, but they were ripping like a pen in the back, and I almost ended up crashing. Like I might did. I'm trying to slow down the car.
So you got
almost
hotboxed, okay. That's probably every now and then my guilty pleasure.
Cannabis.
Yeah, a little cannabis, a little Bob Marley.
So no fun snack, just the cannabis.
No, bro.
You don't eat a bag of chips ever?
Never, bro.
You're lying.
Never, bro.
A little Talkies?
It's so gross, bro. It's disgusting. Why would you? Would you cheat on your wife once?
No.
Why?
That's cheating.
Because it's disgusting. Why would you cheat on yourself?
I want to say having a little bag of chips every once in a while.
Yeah, and having
cheating.
a little side isn't that bad either.
Yeah, it is. You're breaking the covenant of
And you're
marriage.
breaking- and
We're
you're
talking
breaking-
about break.
You're breaking the covenant with yourself. The thing is,
I don't have a covenant that
and that's the difference, brother. I've committed myself to the purity of my vessel,
Mm.
something that you are supposed to commit to if you're a Christian.
When
You're
did you
not
do
supposed
that?
to contaminate yourself with
You
the
got to
food of
keep
the
the
king.
temple.
Was that like a
And
conscious?
remember what the Bible says. If you do not, take care of the temple,
Mm-hmm.
God will destroy it. It's in the Bible. And if you believe the Bible, well, then you better start taking care of your vessel.
When did you lock in like this?
After I had my first psychedelic experience.
Mm.
Guys, mushrooms are crazy.
Would you recommend them
Yes,
to
bro.
me?
Yes.
To TJ?
Me?
Yes, bro.
He's 18.
He's-
No, bro, that's crazy.
Is
That-
legal?
that's
Is he of
reckless.
age? Can you?
That's reckless.
Why?
Isn't that like dangerous?
That's mind altering.
recommending that to like millions of people online, especially like
Brother,
15
I got a
years?
clip that went viral that had 1 million likes that said everybody should do mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
Everybody should do mushrooms. Everybody should do mushrooms.
Why?
I have been to the Amazon forest where there's 5-year-old kids taking ayahuasca, and they're local Indian kids. Like, they're local Indians, they're local tribesmen, chilling. Now, would I recommend it for the entire world? No.
You
But I
just
would
said-
recommend it to you guys.
You just said everybody should.
I'll make videos where that'll go viral.
Okay.
But where I'm saying take mushrooms. I'm not telling to 1 million people, bro. When I did a podcast recently. I was talking to this girl. I said, take mushrooms. That clip went viral. I was talking to her. This clip will go viral. Guys, take some mushrooms. It'll be good for your
Yeah, but
mental reset.
aren't you kind of worried about the impact you're having? Because some people
It's
might
great
see that
impact.
video.
It's great impact. It's great impact.
Why do you think they're so good?
Try them.
I'm scared, bro.
That's why. You know why you fear something? What is fear?
Just being scared. I don't know.
What do you,
Unknown.
When can you fear something?
When you don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. The
Do you
thing is,
think-
I know what's going to happen. That's why I can tell you, not as an idiot, for you to learn that I maybe know something that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's spiritual? Like,
Yeah.
do you enter a spiritual realm when you take mushroom?
Well, what is a spiritual realm? Define
Just-
spiritual realm.
Just another realm, or do you think it's just chemicals getting released in your brain?
I mean, what do you mean by a different realm? Explain.
Well, here's the thing. We were talking to somebody this week, and they were a big mushroom proponent, and they were saying that a lot of people who take mushrooms, they have a similar experience, and they almost meet in like a realm. Like there's overlapping experiences. Like they'll meet in like this white room, and then on Reddit they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've been to that." And there's like these beings that judge you. So do you enter like a new world? Is it a portal?
I mean, I think that there's different dimensions, and I think that psychedelics do tap you into different dimensions, just like this is a dimension. So I guess if you're on the same vibrational frequency as somebody else, you could potentially be in the same metaverse space.
So it's not just chemicals.
No,
It's-
absolutely not. I mean, if you break down everything to just chemical reactions, then nothing is really real. Then your relationship with your girl isn't really real. Love isn't real. It's just chemical reactions that you're just kind of navigating life through as a soup of fluid that's just walking around in a sack of meat, right?
That's a good point.
So I think you have to be okay with the super natural, not the non-natural, the supernatural experiences, because when you begin to evaluate, when people receive epiphanies, like Solomon, like David, like Jacob, like Paul, like John, a lot of these guys go into transcendental states. Do they go into transcendental states with psychedelics or not? I don't know. But they go into transcendental states to have spiritual experiences. Can you have spiritual experiences through non-transcendental psychedelic experiences? Absolutely. But would you say, for example, me going into a state of meditation is a good thing or a bad thing?
What would define state of meditation?
Me going into a deep state where I am hyper-focused on my spirit as opposed to the environment and the things that are happening. You could call it a prayerful state.
I like prayerful state. See,
But you see, the thing is, you've attributed, and that goes back to what I'm saying,
know.
right? It's these words.
yeah,
It's the dogma. It's the belief system. It's the fact that I know something about meditation that you don't, and you believe that you know something about meditation that has given you the conviction and has limited your ability to do what? To experience life. And you don't have to go out and experience crap, right? That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to go out and sleep with a prostitute. You still have to have moderation, and you still have to have intelligence, and you still have to have wisdom, and not everything is for everybody. But to neglect yourself experiences of life simply because you say, I am afraid, solve that fear with knowledge. And if you can't find that knowledge, go to sources and people that you trust and convey with them. Talk to them, dialogue with them, and then develop your own thesis. Don't just say, well, I'm not going to do this because I'm afraid, or I'm not going to do this because my mom said so.
Well, what if the answer isn't I'm afraid? What if it's just I don't care to?
Then don't do it. Just like I don't care to jump from an airplane.
Right.
I don't care to do that, and I'm not going to do that. Am I losing an experience of life by not doing that? Yes. I'm okay with that. And just the same way with mushroom. It's the same thing with everything else.
do you think it's at all dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, everything is dangerous. One, outside of moderation, and two, is understanding that when you enter spiritual states, you need to be spiritually equipped. And most people enter spiritual states that are ulterior spiritual states, and they assume that everything that they experience in that ulterior state, because it's ulterior, is true. And the truth is, most things are false. And that goes for everything in life, even the things that you interact with in spiritual dimensions.
But I feel like with mushrooms, you're almost, because you said you could enter those dimensions in other ways, through prayer, through via meditation. But don't you think that mushrooms, you're kind of brute forcing it?
Yes.
So you definitely
it's a
might
cheat
not be
code.
ready for it.
Absolutely.
And that's where you can get messed up. That's where people come out of it, different people.
Yes,
And that can
and
be
most
negative,
of them come out better people.
but
because
not all.
because to not be ready does not mean that it's not good. Most people, you weren't ready for marriage. You're never going to be ready for kids. But when it happens to you, you'll be like, that's pretty good.
I don't know, man. I don't believe that everybody should take Shrew's message. All right, man. What are you doing next? You're going hard on YouTube?
I think I want to start posting more on YouTube.
Okay.
And my goal is to continue building Capital Club.
Why, brother?
I think the reason I want to build Capital Club, and I appreciate you asking me that, is because I think I have a really good opportunity at rewiring the aspiring entrepreneur and the developed entrepreneur into an ecosystem that allows them to be authentic, that allows them to network with individuals that actually care about them, to find knowledge that's not based on profit, but it's based on experience, which is hard to find. And my reputation is unassailable. My reputation speaks for itself, and I've maintained a good reputation by doing good business. And I think that Capital Club is kind of the unifier of all the communities on the internet, as kind of that town square for people to come in and hang out. And just because I was able to make money before, kind of gives me the ability to not have to milk the out of my audience like most people would do, because I've made money. So it puts me in a very special situation to really be able to build a very powerful movement towards the development of self, which is my entire mission, becoming the best version of who you are meant to be. The Jews believe that. They believe that, it's very interesting, they have this philosophy that if you do not fulfill your fullest potential, that it's sin. Christians don't believe that. Christians believe that you can just be, and that's okay. Do you want me to tell you scripture to prove that?
Okay, I feel like we're diving too deep. Speak on the Capital Club thing.
Well, you asked me what I'm doing next.
All right, but why?
Let's hear the scripture.
Do you care about what I'm doing next? Do you care about what
I
I'm doing
do.
next?
That's why I want to get to the bottom of it.
So why am I
want
going
to keep
too
asking
deep
why?
on Capital Club?
I want to ask if you just care about that, why not make it free? Like I sell a course, it's for money.
Because I have to pay for my time. My time is valuable. Money exists for a reason. It's a vehicle in exchange of what?
Value.
Perfect. What do you think I'm going to go do with that money?
Spend it on shrooms.
No. I'm going to continue doing what I've done. Continue building Capital Club.
So you're not gonna blow it on a Lambo?
I don't need a Lamborghini.
You're
I've
not
already,
into cars at all?
I mean, if you were listening to me,
I was, but you said McLaren. You didn't say Lambo. You said McLaren.
come on.
You said
You know
McLaren.
this,
You
bro.
said
You
McLaren.
can't do this to me. You already know my ethos. You know what I stand for. I have fancy houses. I have nice things. When you're purpose driven,
Mhm.
you're not driven by money. And I will make a ton of money, but it doesn't drive me. And I will get rich in proportion to the value that I provide to the marketplace. That's why Elon Musk doesn't make his cars free.
But what's the point
Or
if you're not gonna
at
do good
cost.
things? What's the point of making money if you're not gonna enjoy it a little?
I'm going to enjoy it. I just enjoy it in different ways. I enjoy it in travel. I enjoy it by giving my team bonuses. I enjoy it by scaling my team. I enjoy it by doing events. 2024, we're doing dozens of events all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That costs money. I have to fly 20 people. It's not cheap. Who's going to pay for that? The club pays for that. How does the club pay for it? With memberships. Just like the Ritz-Carlton has a member. I'm a member of the Ritz-Carlton Reserve. You know how much my membership was? It wasn't free. It was $100 grand. And then $1,000 a month maintenance fee.
Have you benefited?
Of course. The people that actually pay $100,000 with me are the people that I want to hang out with. So I go to the jacuzzi and I'm hanging out with billionaires. You don't believe it? Okay, that you don't believe it, that's fine. That's because you haven't paid $100,000 for a membership. So when you do, you'll realize that there's value in the network. So you pay to play because that's the name of the game. And if you're a cheap, well, that's exactly what you're going to get in life, scarcity. I pay to play just like you would do in any RPG game, just like you would do in any MMO. You literally use your coins to level up your character and to unlock different levels. I do it, you do it, name of the game.
I don't play video games.
You are living in a video game, and that's the ultimate choice. You're either going to be a bot, an NPC that runs off the scripts, brother, and that's your choice, or you're going to choose your scripts, become a glitch, and forge your own path. There's two choices: glitch, a person, and Jesus was the original glitch.
I don't know, man. You're calling glitches your fan base, and now you're gonna.
No.
That's almost
No.
heresy. That's
No,
a little disrespectful.
is it disrespectful?
To call them a glitch,
What is a glitch?
your fan base.
No. What is a glitch? You asked me what a glitch was.
A glitch is someone who defies the matrix.
Perfect. So what you're telling me is that I've identified a definition to a word. Would
So
you
you're just
say- would
making
you
up
say-
your own words?
Yeah, why not? Words are just made up constructs of thoughts and ideas, are they not?
That's cult leader behavior.
No, it's not.
It is. You got to define the words.
The
And then
word
you
the word
control
glitch is
everything.
the word. Look up the definition of a glitch. It's a dictionary definition.
Look it up, TJ.
It's all comes down to very simple principles. The principles of software and hardware. You have a glitch in the software, it breaks the software. You run off the normal scripts, you're a bot. You're coded. It's very simple. It's not cultish behavior. It's very straightforward language. You just haven't been able to identify yourself as a glitch yet, but you are, hopefully.
Does knowing all of this hinder your happiness at all? I'm just kind of, I don't want to put any words in your mouth. I respect you, but when you're just more carefree, well, you could be happy with anything, right? But for you, if you know so much and you understand so much, does that make life more difficult?
No, because that's under the assumption that happiness is what I'm pursuing.
You don't want to be happy?
I didn't say that. It's not my pursuit, because happiness is a chemical reaction. If you're pursuing a chemical reaction, then it's always going to be fleeting. I'm pursuing experiencing life and pursuing truth. I've said this again and again, but you guys aren't listening to me. I love you guys, but listen to me when I speak. It comes back to truth, guys. Literally all of it. My business, my conversation with you guys, my conversation with myself, the exploration of truth, figuring things out, having uncomfortable conversations, saying things that might, all in the pursuit of truth, brother, and all with good intentions.